Hello, lovers and friends. Welcome back to another episode where we are going to focus on today's topic of the permission to be dot dot dot. We could fill in the blank with so many things, but this episode is all about the permission to be beautiful and sexy as a woman. That's right. Too often, women feel shyness, embarrassment, shame around our bodies, around our sexuality. And this is so soul sucking and heartbreaking, especially when this type of pattern and belief system is highly functional in a relationship dynamic. Because not only does it rob the woman of the experience of her own liberated orgasmic potential to become an orgasmic woman, not just let alone be able to even experience an orgasm. But secondly, it also really robs her and her partner of the connection to play in the field of the erotic, to bring more passion, more aliveness, more play and humor into their love, their sex life, their intimacy, and emotional intimacy. Let alone, there's a belief that being sexy and beautiful isn't spiritual. But I want to debunk that right now, today, to let you all know straight up that being sexy and being beautiful and being sexually erotic and expressive is, in fact, a part of the spiritual journey. You cannot get to a higher state of consciousness and enlightenment, my loves, if you are bypassing the sacred sexuality work, if you are not bringing the body along, if you are ignoring, rejecting, avoiding, shaming, stuffing down, or hiding any part of us that is repressed, hiding out, playing good girl, playing small, that isn't allowing for the fullest expression of who you came to be to come to light in your lifetime. And this episode is really focused on the hot, holy, radiant woman coming alive into her relationship dynamic. And again, maybe you're not a woman, but you're femme-identified and you feel really resonant with me in this work, then adopt this for your own hot, holy, radiant embodiment as well, honey. Anything goes. So please come along for the ride and let's dive into it, because the focus of this topic is really about being able to enjoy your God-given gifts, the beauty that is you, the body that is you, and allowing yourself to actually enjoy the very natural and healthy feeling that we all crave to experience in our lifetime of being desired. Being desired kind of gets a bad rap because those that believe that if a woman or a man or anyone wants to be desired, that we are coming from a place of lack, or we're coming from a place of a need of validation, and that it's simply coming from a place of shadow. But guess what, my loves? It's actually not true. Desire is a way that God wants you to experience the goodness through you. Yes, this is true. This is backed in the Taoist teachings, the Taoist teachings, the Tantra teachings, as well as all of the ancient teachings that speak to the fact that desire is God life force moving through you. If there is a desire, that is God wanting to move through you. Now, where humans get caught up is the attachment to the desire, the attachment of the how and the attachment that it needs to happen. But desire itself is not bad or wrong or sinful or shameful or selfish. In fact, it's actually a very human need and humanness for all of us to feel desired, whether it's desired by our partner, desired in our community, desired by our friends and family members, also for us to feel desired within ourselves, right? And that's where the self-validation and the self-actualization starts to come alive and come online for us. And I wanted to bring this episode here because as we're diving into more of our unabashed expression in lifetime, people who seem to peacock and have their feathers and be really expressive, myself included, like to be seen and big and expressive, and we have no shame, but we're doing it for all of us, right? We are just the courageous ones. And yet, oftentimes we can be misunderstood and judged that it's all about ego or it's all about a look at me, when if it's coming from a place where you need it and it's about validation and it makes you feel whole and complete and you need it, okay, check in with yourself, be real, because then there is some shadow work to be done around that need, because it isn't actually a desire for connection, just desire to feel desired for the sake of it. And as I said, we all have a desire to feel desired. I mean, we all want to feel like what we want wants us back, whether it's our goals and our dreams, our manifestations, or our partner, right? We want to always feel in some capacity that what we want wants us back too. It feels really good. It feels really godly. It feels just so elated. And so many, when it comes to owning our sex appeal and owning how absolutely fucking fabulous we are intrinsically, and owning that we're the hottest fucking thing that walks the earth and walks the planet is a spiritual practice, we then will start to shame it and blame it or pretend like we don't have that aspect of ourselves, right? We don't want to seem like we're the shit or that we care about looking like we are looking good or being the shit. But when we move beyond all that stuff, right? The stories, the shaming, the pretending, because the truth is, if we're not looking in the mirror every day and we're not excited, happy, proud, loving of what we see in the mirror, there's a deeper invitation for us to do some work around that, right? There's definitely an invitation to do some deeper self-love work where we are proud of what we see in the mirror every single day, regardless of our body shape or size. We're always work in progress. Our bodies are always fluctuating depending on what we're eating and what we're drinking and when we've worked out or how much sleep we've gotten, right? So our bodies are always fluctuating. Can we always look in the mirror and love and celebrate and feel like, holy shit, you are sexy, you are beautiful in all phases? And if we can't do that first and foremost for ourselves, how on earth are we ever going to be able to feel that level of love and desired from our partner? Even if we have an amazing partner that gives us words of affirmation and tells us these things, there's no way as a woman you're going to feel that because you aren't accessing that part. That part of ownership of your sexiness isn't available. And so when I work with clients, and specifically my female clients that come to me to start to blossom and bloom in their femininity, in their radiance, and one of the things that I tell them is that if you're going to become a radiant, turned on woman, the key is in how often you let yourself feel safe, feel loved, and feel adorned. This means the consistency of that practice, the amount of openness you're available to and accessing in that practice, and the congruency with yourself and your desire to actually unlock this power and access that part of yourself. That's got to be fundamental in doing that type of work, because then you're starting to give yourself the space to let the desire begin to bloom in and out of the bedroom. And then it starts to become a whole mood. Oh, yes. It's a whole mood. As you just want to start to serve that hot, holy, utterly devoted to love kind of tea to yourself every day. And you're going to start to emanate and radiate at a very different level, which means, here we go, second level of this, you're going to start to command, not demand, attention. And when I coach women, they start to come online and they start to shed their stories around the good girl and hiding, and we start to do some of these embodiment practices and some pleasure practices, what happens is they start to notice, whoa, I'm starting to place my attention on my feelings and how good I feel. and I push them into the capacity of how good can you stand it? How much more goodness can you let yourself feel? And how can you express that feeling through your body as a woman? Going deeper into how can you let yourself feel the truth of your heart, and then begin to reveal that truth through your body, through your movements, through your breath, through your eyelashes, through your eyes and your mouth and your lips and your toes and your hips, and the way you swoop and move and ooze all of that goodness through you, right? The way you can start to feel yourself purring inside, letting that sexiness really come alive. And then it's like, whoa, 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 hold on, Josefina. This is a bit too much because now I'm getting attention. Now I'm getting a lot of attention outside of the bedroom. When I'm walking down the street, guys are looking at me. I don't want guys to look at me. I don't want this extra attention. I don't feel good in it, or I don't feel safe in it. I don't like to be looked at so much. Suddenly I'm getting acknowledgement for my looks and my hair, and I'm looking sexy in my body because I'm moving my body a lot more. Yes, my loves. That's why this is a spiritual practice. Because as I said, it's how often and consistently are you in the practice of creating safety in your own body, so that you are in that devotion to feeling love and God and safety within your nervous system and in every breath. Because the more that you do, the higher you evolve, the more free you actually become from these stories. And our trained nervous system and brain that's always in fight or flight, worrying that a tiger is going to come and attack us and get us. And in this trained way, to keep us small, that's not conditioned to have us feeling good and pleasure and thriving in our bodies every single day, which is our birthright. And we've evolved way beyond the tigers coming to attack us in the forest. And now I share this because instead of feeling shame for it, oh my God, I don't want guys looking at me. Oh my goodness, I'm getting all this attention. What do? I better start hiding or start covering up. Or I talk to women and their shirt opens a little and they're like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. They got to cover it up. You don't got to cover anything up. You don't even have to apologize for it. Women are so conditioned and trained to apologize, and staying away or trying to stay away from the part of them that actually intrinsically wouldn't mind, maybe desires, could potentially love, actually feeling very, very attractive and hot as fuck. But yet the shame comes into place. The fear comes into place. The worry comes into place. And then there's the idea of rejection. And so we just stay small and playing the good girl and let it be in hiding and only come out in certain parts. And we're not in the consistent practice of often and consistently feeling really good, really juiced up, really alive in our bodies. And then yet we wonder why, when it's time for intimacy with our partners, we can't kickstart it up. We can't jumpstart it up. Suddenly it's like turning on a freaking diesel generator that hasn't been turned on forever. And then it takes us longer and longer, and then feeds into these stories that we're broken, or there's problems, or there's sexual dysfunction between us and our partners. And none of it's actually true. Maybe it's true, but maybe it's also an invitation for you to actually get free and become free. And so my question for you with this episode is, what if you were to own your beauty and your radiance and your sexiness with a smile on your face as the medicine that you need for your own evolution into deeper personal and feminine embodied power? What if this was actually a spiritual initiation for you to welcome in more attention for your looks, for your beauty, for your fashion, for your style, for your vibe, for your expression, and stopped playing the small good girl game that's asking you to hide and start to heal it so that we're no longer rejecting our beauty, especially in a world that wants us to think we're really ugly and need to do a lot of crazy things like plastic surgery to cut underneath our chin, to cut these fat layers, to pull our face back, to make ourselves look good because we think we're not going to get a man unless we look a certain way and we've got to conform and fit in. And I'm really ready to date a lot of men and go on a lot of dates and I'm going to get them lined up once I get this plastic surgery. My gosh, this is like absolute insanity. What if we actually reversed this whole thing back to the ancient ways where we took time to rest and relax and did deeper self-care? And we did things like natural remedies like guashawing with natural oils, and every day infused our face and our skin with love and affirmations of how beautiful we are. And we started to actually adorn ourselves with words of beauty, with words of acceptance, with words of sexiness and even naughtiness. Hell yes to the hot and holy. And what if you actually owned that you love looking cute and you love looking good and you love looking sexy without the fear that it might upset your partner or your boyfriend or your husband? They might not like it. They might get jealous. They might get controlling. You can deal with that. And I'll teach you how to deal with more of that through some of these episodes as it comes along. But also, what if that's not true? What if he's just waiting for you to initiate and own more deeper and fuller parts of you? And he's hungry for it. He's craving it. And what if you started to just unleash that in the safety and the comfort of your own home first and foremost, even before you gave it to him as a gift to yourself? And what if you finally became really honest with yourself about it? That this is actually a part of your journey to becoming free. And I know some of you might be like, come on, Josefina, this sounds cheesy. This sounds cheesy. I don't know. This is a bit of a stretch. Well, as I said, this is a spiritual game of glorious alchemy, where anything where we think is a limitation becomes an opportunity for liberation. And what I've seen in working with women for 15 years in the feminine empowerment space, what I know deeper and deeper is that at one of the deepest layers of authenticity for women that is asked to be liberated is in our individual expression of ourselves as a woman in both the primal and divine expression. We are primal, wild, hot, holy fucking animals. Yes, we are as women. And they are fucking all in nature. Some women have multiple animals in nature that they're having sex with, multiple partners come in and come out all the time. It's primal. Own that. It's divine. Own that. And too many women are suffering, soul sucking. And it is so heartbreaking to see these women trying to fit into these molds, trying to portray themselves hot and sexy and liberated or empowered through plastic surgery when there's still a frozen shell inside of themselves and a disconnection. Or when they're not having the courage to live free in their relationships and even dance in front of their partner as a sacred tantric act of activating passion and eros between them and their partner as a foreplay before the main event, afraid of even being seen in that expression of dance because she's afraid her man's going to judge her or shame her or leave her. And this comes again, not just from the world judging women, because that's true, but the deeper layer is the fear that women have mainly by being judged by the people that they love the most and that they're the closest to the most. And so this is a permissionary episode for you to tune in and even ask yourself, how differently would you portray yourself if you didn't actually have this fear of being judged in the fullness and the totality of yourself as an erotic, sexual creature, as a goddess incarnate in this physical body, here to have and use the fullness of your human experience for you to have, do, wish, experience exactly however it is you want without judgment. And what if this was an opportunity for you to own even more of yourself that could absolutely transform your business, your relationship, your sex life, your friendships, and more importantly, the relationship you have with yourself when you look in the mirror, when you hear yourself, when you start to grow and move in ways that maybe are less desirable to society. And you can still find and feel how fucking desirable you are from the depths of the radiance that you exude from how you own and hold yourself. Mm, Yes, yes. What if you gave yourself that permission? And of course, there's always more beautiful people on the planet, and there's gorgeous people, and it's not about comparing because, again, there's always going to be a younger, prettier, more natural person out in the world that we could compare ourselves to. And I'm not shaming or judging or blasting on, plastic surgery and doing fillers and Botox and all the things. I've never done any of those. I never will do any of those. And I can stand by that because I believe in natural beauty. And yes, I wear a little bit of makeup and play with that for art and play because it's fun for me. And sometimes it makes me feel sexy and it makes me feel glow and it's great. But majority of my day, I just got my skincare going on. I've got my gua sha going on daily. Got my body moving through fitness and through movement and through dance and through my tantra practices. And you better believe I do my walks in the morning and I put on my track to awaken that golden goddess within me, where it is every day reaffirming that I walk through this world and my beauty and radiance stops traffic, that I turn heads everywhere I go, that when I walk into every room, every single person feels me before I enter the room, while I'm in the room, and for hours after I leave the room. That's the kind of confidence and radiance that I am talking about is available. That's that hot, holy radiance that is available to every woman, but it allows for every woman. And it's accessible when you allow yourself the opportunity to turn this into a spiritual practice of becoming turned on and choose to unlock that key code of how often you let yourself feel safe, loved, and adorned consistently, openly, and congruently with a desire to find out how good can that feel, to find out what could that be like. Worth it, worth it. And I'm here telling you that it is worth it. It is. And if you want to take one step closer to that experience, I invite you, check out the links in the show notes. There's a free download, Awaken the Golden Goddess Within, pop it in your ears, walk down the street, and I guarantee you after one time of listening to it, you will feel a shift. Listen to it consistently for days on your hot girl walk or as you're in the car, before you want to go on a date, before you're going to have a lovership date. It will get you to unlock and start to access that part of yourself that in your normal everyday, you can't normally access. And that's the power of working with a really great facilitator and a really great guide. And that is my free gift to each and every one of you in service to your liberation. So check that out and let me know how it goes. This episode is brought to you by my heart, my womb, my soul, for you to enjoy your life to the fullest. And what an absolute pleasure it has been to share this with you all. Until next time, my loves.